Hello everyone, this is JTHvlogs from the human perspective. Welcome back to another video log. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about um, my new job. A few months ago, I say new because I've only been on the floor for like 11, 12 days or so, but I started a new job at the Melting Pot, which is like a four-course fondue restaurant. It's really good. It is a lot of work though. I was not prepared for how much work it is. I have a whole new respect for serving staff, for sure. I mean, it is a lot. Like it's four courses, so you're with your tables for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Um, like constantly moving plates around, staying on top of timing, pacing, things like that. There's a lot of skills that I had been like lacking in my life, specifically regarding timing, that is basically a requirement to have at the melting pot if you want to do well and treat your customers with proper service. So, in a lot of regards, like this is the perfect job for me because it's pushing me to grow, to be more than I am, to expand my boundaries, and I feel like that is necessary for me. If I'm in a spot where I'm not constantly pushing and growing and changing, then I feel really stagnant, and that makes me feel like I'm dying. I know I touched a little bit on this before yesterday about this new job, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about why I'm so grateful that I'm there now. And to do that, I want to give a little bit of contrast. Uh, I have been working another job for about like 9, 10 months. I've been delivering pizzas for Domino's. And I tell you what, it seems like a really simple job. And it is, it's driving and serving food. But there's a lot more to it that I didn't know about. And that job had become a teacher for me when I was there. Uh, it taught me a lot more about grounding and meditation and sticking to the processes and refining a lot of skills that I didn't really have an environment to teach me before, but Domino's was that. And not only that, I also met some really beautiful, amazing people there. Um, but I got so good at that job that it became really stagnant and boring. And I almost, like, I started making more mistakes as I got better at that job. And I know that sounds really counterintuitive, but it's because I was expending less mental energy on the job. I was focusing less on it. I was not caring quite as much because it wasn't pushing me to grow like I need. And so I would make like really simple, not stupid. I mean, I'm trying to move away from that word entirely, to be honest, but I started making these mistakes that I would feel really bad about. Like, dang, man, like, how long have I been here? I'm making that mistake? What? But it's not because I was bad or anything like that. It's just because it was becoming closer for me to move on. And I think a lot of times we overstay our welcome, with employment and relationships. Uh, I have a lot of experience with that. I touched on my situation with my mom a little bit yesterday, and I feel like I had overstayed my welcome. Not really because of what she wanted. I mean, I felt like she really wanted me to stay because of some of the benefits that I was providing. Um, but I had been wanting to go for a long time, for years. I just couldn't really muster the finances together to afford to be on my own. Um, but I felt like I overstayed my welcome. And same thing goes for Domino's. I mean, I could have. continued to work there another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And I probably would have been just as good as, month 5 or 6 when I had it on lock, right? And, but the thing is, if I did that, I would feel dead inside, like I wasn't myself. They say the ego is just the mental activity of identification. And maybe there's a part of me that does identify as like, a go-getter, a boundary pusher, a trailblazer, things like that. But I do know this in my life, regardless of how I identify, I feel really bad if I'm stuck. And I feel really good if I'm making good quality progress. And so it was time for me to move on to something more challenging, more difficult, more robust, more profitable. And that's what this new job is, the melting pot. And I found myself in this really interesting situation where it's like, not everything comes naturally to me there. Most environments I go to, I excel pretty much right off the bat because I'm a natural. And I'm not saying I'm not a natural at the melting pot. There's a lot of qualities that I possess that give me a head start. Like my personability, my empathy, my genuine care to serve, my desire to provide a great experience for our guests. Like I have those things, and those can be a big, huge difference in service. However, there are a lot of hard skills that I don't possess going into it. And it is awesome to me that I have this opportunity to round out my skill set through this employment opportunity. It is so funny. I mean, here I am being grateful for my employment when just a few years ago, I was pretty much like anti-job, anti-system, fuck the man. I never want to be a slave to this system. And to a degree, that's all still true. I am fighting for my freedom every single day. And this system is built on the disenfranchisement of the people and free thinkers. And so to be in this system, caring for it, providing for it, contributing to it through employment, while also maintaining my free thinking capacity, is basically a miracle. However, I must admit that I am grateful to be a part of this right now. I would never have been at the melting pot if it weren't for Domino's, for me kind of getting over that hurdle of seeking employment to better myself. Because, I always wanted to make my photography career work full time, catapult me into travel. And I'm not saying that won't happen. That will happen in my life at the right time. But I needed to be humbled first, deeply humbled about how to connect to uh, the matrix. And by that I mean like the system, the government, the economy, all of these structures and systems that we abide by in our life here in this country and others, but this country definitely, that's the one I've got experience with. And it has been a great benefit to me to sink myself deeper into this matrix so that I can empathize and connect with people who are also in that position. For a while, I was part of these like, spiritual communities, finding other people like me, star seeds, things like that. And it was amazing going through like, this ascension process and having so much of my life focused on meditation and, ascension and stuff like that. But that's only one piece of the pie. That's one half of the yin yang. The other half is descension. Outward breath, inward breath, inhale, exhale. And so if you're going to ascend, you have to descend deeper into this planet, into this earth. That's why we came here. We didn't come here just to touch base and then fly back, right? No, we came here to be here. And so to me, that's what sinking into this matrix is pretty much all about. It's about learning how to be a human. And, it definitely helps that, I need employment so that I can find a place to live. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I'll definitely talk a bit more about, my life, my situation, my housing, my employment, the melting pot, all of that. But right now it's a little over 10 minutes, and that's pretty much about how long I want these vlogs to last. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. I love you. Thank you. Goodbye.